TV soap news and spoilers say that this Friday's episode of Beyond the Gates didn't just nudge the drama forward, it detonated it. May 16 delivered a pivotal hour that redefined the fate of multiple characters, reshaped alliances and raised the stakes to terrifying new heights. If you thought things were already spiraling out of control in Faircrest, buckle up, this episode took everything beyond the edge. Let's break down the episode scene by scene, and trust us, every second mattered. Nicole faces the fire. A life ready to burn. Nicole Harper has always been the center of strength in her circle. Composed, controlled, calculated. But Friday's episode showed her breaking, beautifully, tragically, and powerfully. We open on Nicole sitting in silence, staring at a half-packed suitcase on her bed. The shadows from the blinds slash across her face as she clutches a legal envelope in her hand, divorce papers. Yes, Nicole is seriously considering ending her marriage to Ted Harper after last month's devastating cheating scandal. The news of Ted's affair with his assistant shattered her picture-perfect image of their union, and viewers saw the first real crack in Nicole's composure last week. But this Friday, the fracture widened into a full collapse. What makes this moment so gut-wrenching isn't just the betrayal, it's the hesitation. Nicole's conflict is palpable. She walks to the mirror, gazes at her reflection, and whispers, "Who am I without this life?" And that's the real question. Because leaving Ted might not just mean ending a marriage, it could also mean quitting the hospital board, stepping back from the community, even walking away from Fairmont Crest entirely. A scene with her therapist later in the episode makes it even clearer. Nicole isn't just making a decision. She's preparing for a rebirth. One that might burn bridges, sever ties, and force her to become someone entirely new. And just when we think she's made up her mind, her phone buzzes. A message from Ted. "Let's talk. One last time." Sisters in ambition. Allison and Pamela's bold leap while Nicole wrestles with emotional devastation. Her sister Allisoni's chasing something wild, ambitious and completely unpredictable. Long overshadowed by her older sibling, Allison has always been the one in Nicole's shadow. A supporting player in the Harper family saga, but not anymore. Friday's episode gave Allison her spotlight as she met with longtime friend, and Loki icon, Pamela Laney in a tucked-away loft above an old photography studio. Their dream? Launching a boutique modeling agency that puts Fairmont Crest on the fashion map. They call it RAW, and it stands for Real Ambitious Women. The agency isn't just about fashion, it's about freedom. Pamela, a former model whose career was sidelined after a bad contract and worse management, wants to give young talent a chance without the exploitation. And Allison? She wants to build something of her own. Something that has nothing to do with being Nicole's little sister. The drama sparks when a potential investor, Miles Corbin, a slick, suspiciously supportive venture capitalist, offers them seed money. But there's a catch: full creative control. Allison is tempted. Pamela is furious. What they do next could define their partnership, or destroy it before the ink dries on their business cards. Kat corners Leslie, and nearly gets destroyed elsewhere in town. Two of Fairmont Crest's most dangerous women went toe-to-toe, and the results were nothing short of explosive. Catherine, Kat, Richardson, always dressed like she's ready to host a power lunch or a funeral, and maybe both, has had her eyes on Leslie Chon for weeks. And now she's finally made her move. The confrontation happens at the hospital, in the East Wing corridor, just after visiting hours. Kat steps out of the elevator, her heels clicking like gunshots on the tile floor. She finds Leslie alone, reading a file, and doesn't waste time. "You know what you did to Laura," Kat says coldly. "And I know how you did it." But if Kat was hoping to intimidate Leslie, she's clearly underestimated who she's dealing with. Because Leslie doesn't flinch. Instead, she smiles, a slow, snake-like curl off her lips. And says, "You really want to play this game with me, Catherine?" Laura did. You saw how that turned out. For those who forgot, Laura Templeton was the nurse who mysteriously coded the job 2 months ago. Whispers have swirled about Leslie's involvement, especially after the discovery of a potassium Livet was somehow never traced back to her. Cat may think she's holding a card, but Leslie already owns the whole deck. As the scene ends, Leslie leans in close and whispers, "You try anything, and you'll be sharing a room with Laura. Maybe even her grave." The tension here wasn't just dramatic, it was nuclear. Viewers immediately took to social media speculating, will Cat fight back? Or has Leslie already won? Doug's debut a dangerous decision. As if the chaos couldn't get any darker, we cut to Doug McBride, a man unraveling under the weight of secrets she can no longer hide. Doug's gambling has been hinted at in previous episodes, but now it's full-blown and dangerous. When the episode shifts to his office, we see him poring over ledgers from Vanessa's real estate business. But they're not his. They're her private accounts, and he's plotting how to move dirty money through her company without her knowledge. Enter Joey Armstrong, the smooth ice-cold enforcer for the local betting syndicate. Joey doesn't threaten Doug with violence, he threatens him with exposure. If Doug doesn't pay back what he owes by next Friday, Joey will go straight over Vanessa. And in Joey's words, "If she finds out from me, it's a lot more than just your wallet." Doug is trapped. He has two options. He can confess everything to Vanessa, throw himself on her mercy, and hope she forgives him, and maybe even helps him pay it off, or he can launder the money through her firm, betray her trust completely and hope he doesn't get caught. Either way, this is the beginning of a dangerous spiral, and with Joey lurking around, the clock is ticking. Where it all leads next, by the end of the episode, every character stood at a crossroads. Nicole holds the divorce papers in her hand, and must choose between survival and reinvention. Allison and Pamela face the first real test of their partnership, and a threat that could turn dreams into ashes. Leslie rears dominance, and reminds Fairmont Crest that she plays for keeps. Cat may have overplayed her hand, and may soon learn what it means to go too far. Doug is neck-deep in secrets, and his next move could cost him everything. And with each passing moment, the gates around Fairmont Crest seem less like boundaries, and more like prison bars. Final thoughts: this episode of Beyond the Gates was a masterclass in escalation. The stakes were raised for every major character. Lines were drawn, masks dropped, and dangerous plans were set in motion. If this is the calm before the storm, then Fairmont Crest is standing in the edge of a hurricane. And by the looks of it, not everyone is going to survive the fallout. Stay tuned, next week promises confrontations, revelations, and at least one character who won't make it out of the episode in one piece. This is Beyond the Gates. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Beyond the Gates updates and news, so subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.